Hi, welcome to a new video for my to be renamed channel. So this channel has been called um, Rock Your Business because it was a business channel, and that was because the closest thing I could come to defining what my area of expertise was saying that it was business channel. However, well, first of all, if you look back into the video history of this channel, you can see that it has always been kind of like um, a journey. It was something I wanted to investigate because I had been a yoga teacher for a very long time, and I quit that at a certain point, and or I just really brought it down to you know, just a few classes or only yoga videos or whatever. And because I really wanted to find out how is it possible that I started out studying yoga and wanting to be a teacher so passionately, and how did that die? How did it die on me? And not just die on me, but there was like an element of repulsion there. So being repulsed by who I had been as a yoga teacher, and to a degree still was. So there was just, as they say in America, there was so much to unpack. um, that this channel has really been one big question mark, one big understanding that this was not a channel where I could um well, it might sound selfish, but I knew I could not focus on the viewer. Like, what do you need, and what can I do for you? It was too raw. It was too fresh. It was too big. It was too kind of like, what do I have here? So that was how it started out. Like the question marks I had about being a yoga teacher, and everything that I learned about business, where I could really see, like, yeah, that's not going to work when you're a yoga teacher. Like, I could see that everything I liked about having a business didn't apply to having a yoga business, at least not here in the Netherlands. So it really was that um, that was how it started out. Then I kind of like grew into the business side of things, and understanding that in all probability it had been my ambition and my seriousness that I had um, as an entrepreneur, as an understanding of what it was to have a business. Had probably been the reason why I had broken up with being a yoga teacher, and why it had not fit me. And so I had kind of like, I was like, okay, I understand this, and let's just forget about the whole yoga thing, and let's just really concentrate on being a business owner, and about what that means. What is having a business? What does that mean? What kinds of businesses can you have? And so I really went into that. And I can understand that at the time that was the kind of like the element that I picked for this channel. And at the same time, I knew it was not finished. It wasn't it. And meanwhile, I have a company and a website, a blog, and the blog is called "What Do Rock Stars Need to Hear Today?" So that is that's not that's the series. What the series is called on the blog, and from that, from writing that, it became, because those are very abstract, conceptual, meta blog posts. So they're definitely not like, okay, what you need to hear as a rock star is how to invest your money so that you have a pension. Like it was really not in any way kind of like practical or something. Now, I'm not also not about like these are your performance skills, and it was nothing like that. You can go check it out if you like. I'll put the link in below. But either way, I was kind of like toying with these meta concepts about basically the rock star identity. And I've been doing that for over a year now, and I think like 18 months or something. And and from that, from writing that, and from feeling that this channel was really this whole topic of having a business was kind of like falling by the wayside. I could really feel like it's dying on me. And I don't know if I really let it die, but um, what I really found out is that what I had liked about yoga and what I thought about having a business, about what inspired me there and who inspired me there, had nothing to do with yoga and had nothing to do with um, with running a business and with the theories behind it, and everything to do with who it was and the rock star quality of that person. So the reason I came to yoga was because Madonna started doing yoga and she kind of like told that to us in 1998. So she had already had this dancer body, which she had perfected with, diet and the gym, and so that had been going on for years. And then she kind of like took it to a whole new level when she started doing yoga. The expressiveness of her body just went through the roof, and she was really like the embodiment of yoga. And her whole body had become a message of freedom and of empowerment and of power. It was like she was, yeah, her whole body had become a, a message, an instrument. And that was after, already having a body that had been her instrument ever since she started dancing. So, that was what yoga did to her. And the business side of it, that's also really interesting because I didn't really get involved and passionate about business, even though I had been studying it I have a degree in business, and also I was one of the first to like start studying the whole like the first business coaches online, the whole movement of the female entrepreneurship and all the business coaches that came with that, and who had something to say about marketing, about online marketing, and about marketing for small businesses with uh, um, regular brick and mortar businesses. So I had been studying a business. I mean, if I start counting from when I started my studies to the moment that I really got it, that was like 15 years. 15 years of already being in that field of expertise and understanding that there is something, with this whole new online movement thing, understanding that there was something I wanted to learn there, and really being very invested in it and also being fascinated by it. I mean, it was like 2012, 2013, and seeing those women rise and have things to say about it. And even in the online business, like I hired a business coach in particular for yoga businesses, and that was just so great that I in the Netherlands, because of this whole new thing on the internet, that I could hire an international coach, business coach, just for yoga. It was such a good investment in even just for me personally it really put me in bigger entrepreneurial boots. So I was already 15 years invested in that area of expertise, and yet it didn't like really hit me until December 2016. And that was when I really found the business coach who kind of like just became it for me. Like the way she did. She ran her business, but also her personality, and she was just really unapologetic about what she did, and I just loved it. And like to this day, her work is my most important source for me personally, professionally. Um, but just like with Madonna's yoga, the coach that I got to know in December 2016, who is still like my archetype of what I would love to be, it has nothing to do with running a business. It's her. Just like the yoga that I learned from Madonna, or the spark that I got from Madonna doing yoga, didn't have anything to do with yoga. So what did I learn? That it is a rock star thing, that as abstract as it is, and as like completely unpackageable. I mean, I'm not gonna create a course, oh, how to be a rock star. No. It's what I want this channel to be about is about that thing, that rock star thing that these women had, which infused what it was that they were doing. And then I thought, oh, it's the yoga. Or, oh, that's really fascinating. I want to be, an online business coach, whatever. Um, and and it's just not. Doesn't have anything to do with it. So that is the first part where when I really see that I don't want to talk about the systems that, or the mythology that I see, or even the subjects that I see, that I kind of like fell in love with, just because of the person behind it, who infused it with their love and their passion and their rock star power, which brought the whole thing to life. So that was one part of me, and that's really for this channel, was like, we're going to talk about that rock star energy. We're not going to talk about the all the possible things that you can infuse it to, which then look really cool, or which then come really alive, or whatever. So that is the first part, that I want to change this channel to. Like, it's not a business channel. I'm not gonna call this Rock Your Business. It's a rock star channel. It's like super abstract. It's super intangible. It's probably even silly or stupid or whatever. I don't care. I'm not gonna open my mouth anymore to something that is kind of like tangible or regulated, or it's like because it's not that. It's not that I want to talk about. It's not that I ever fall in love with. It's something that is behind it, something powerful. So that was the first part, but that was still so, it was such a stretch for me to really come out here and say, okay, let's go have a talk about this. Let's rename this channel, do something different, make it a real rock star channel because of Madonna and because of this badass business coach. That was still like, I didn't have all the pieces together. I knew that that was the way, but didn't have all the pieces together. And then the second this the second piece of the puzzle came, and that was that I realized that these people, just like me and just like some of you, have something inside of them that is just so big and really, it is I compare it to the superhero movie Venom. So Venom is a extraterrestrial entity, and he or they, but let's say he merges with a human. So now the human and Venom are one. They say we are Venom. They now say. And the third installment of this franchise is just premiering here in the Netherlands. I think it's a worldwide premiere. But Venom 3, so the final movie from this franchise, has just premiered. And what I wanted to talk about here on this channel is that Madonna in 1998, this business coach from December 2016 onward, and I, because I have it when I write, like my writing is just, it's such a force of nature, I can't really control it. It just kind of like comes out. That we have a venom monster inside of us. We have something that we don't control, and it needs to come out. And when it comes out, if we can like merge that, if we can merge our venom power into the writing, or into having a business, or into doing yoga, then that thing really comes to life with like this extraterrestrial power that just turns it into something completely different. And that is really what I wanna talk about, because I think that is an extremely relevant conversation. And I say this also because I've experienced what it's like when you know perfectly well how to run a proper business, how to market a proper business, because I do know that. But you have this force inside of you that is absolutely not interested in that. You have this force inside of you that has manifested in this other business coach as running her business. But that's not how it manifests with you. With me, it manifests as writing. And with like really traditional rock stars, it manifests as as performing, as this ability to really have this captivating and strong energy and really come to that threshold between you and the audience, and bring that together. You know, if like a real rock star has such a presence, and it's kind of like it's an expanding force. It goes out, and at the same time it pulls in. It's magnetic. And so if you have this power, if you have this venom inside of you, this extraterrestrial power, you need to know how it expresses. And you can have you can't have uh first of all, you cannot kind of like learn how you have to do something and then let that push your venom away, let that push your rock star power away. So that's what happened when I was inspired to do yoga by Madonna and I started studying it. And with every year I was deeper into my career, I lost more of the power and the energy and the vision that I had had, you know? So that's really good to know if you have that kind of like power, that if you decide to do something official with it or get some real diplomas for it or whatever, that you realize that your goal is the Venom Rockstar power that you have in you, and not your more or less arbitrary um, interest in a certain area of life or work. So that's one thing that you need to know, that it's the kind of like the rock star in you that you have to nourish first, and that you also have to use for your success, and not let it be dependent on how everybody else in that certain industry or something does their work. Because then, like me, after 25 years, you do back and you're like, what the F happened there? How did I go from being so strongly invested in, I want to do yoga, I want to be a yoga teacher, to just ending up in every way worse than I started? So that's one thing that, this new channel, this new vision really brings out. uh you have to put the Venom quality, the rockstar quality first, and not the the drier stuff, the official stuff, how other people think that you should do your job. But the other thing is also that you can't just copy how another kind of like rock star person, or another person who has this huge Venom energy in them, and they can work their magic with them. You can't just copy that. I could I could not copy the way Madonna did yoga, because yoga was her way of expressing her rockstar power. I could not just really run with what I learned from that coach about business coaching and about being an entrepreneur, because that was her way of expressing her rockstar Venom power. And with me, it's writing. I'm a writer, maybe a little bit of a speaker, but mostly a writer. That's how my Venom, my rockstar power expresses. So I can't just make my Venom go the other way. Like, oh, there was this time when I thought, oh, I want to be a rockstar yoga teacher. I'm now like, well, no, I don't. It's not the natural expression for my inner Venom. And so I'm not going to develop rockstar yoga. And so that's what this new channel, like, I'm making this video. I still don't know what I'm going to call the channel. Like, I don't know, yeah, like the Rockstar channel or something. Venom's Rockstar channel. um, I don't know, but I do know that it's really important, and I already have like a lot of not a lot, at least one topic that I really uh, um, wanna discuss, that I think is that I have such an interesting um, alternative vision to offer you on this. And let's just make the agreement that I'll be talking about this next week. The topic is fame. I'm going to offer you a new way of looking at maybe your own desires for fame, maybe people you know who are famous, maybe you are famous, and yeah, offer a very interesting vision for that, with regard to, you know, having this rock star personality in the form of this venom that you have inside of you, and why that could lead to you wanting to be famous for totally different reasons than anything you have heard before. So, see you next time, next week, for the new video, and hopefully I will then have a name for this channel. And yeah, see you then. Okay, bye.